So, I'm going to be doing a tier list of all of the paintbrush maps, just because I can. We're doing all of these. I'm doing all of these in zones, but I will be taking into account the other modes that exist that are good on it as well. I've got the tier list in the bottom left, just so you can follow it. So far, so good. You've got all this map painting, which is very good. You like being able to paint all of this. The problem is the bowl. It's very wide, very like I can have my head poking over this, yeah, but I can still just get absolutely killed by it. The areas you kind of want to be playing around here are like this here. This flings over like all of mid. Very good, obviously. Like, all of this is now a no-go zone if I'm here. And it also has the advantage of being able to run across. And if you are across, hanging out down here, it's very strong. Hang out down here. If you feel something to go left, hang out down here. You can poke a plat from down here as well. I think it's not the worst, but obviously if everyone's being real defensive, you've got the missiles to force options out people. It's not as bad as I think, and Clam's obviously having the ramp, and having this area still being able to sharpen the poke. Rain's not too bad for it as well, because again, under this ramp down here, which you can go over. It's not criminally bad. I think, in context of every other map, it's going to be low B. It's going to be a very low B, I think. At the end of the day, Eel Tail. This one's going to be awful. Eel Tail is only played on zones. And to be honest, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I can think of two. Actually, I've just remembered now. I played at Zones Rotation yesterday, where I was recording this, and I found two things that are good for them. Hey, standing here, you can poke behind this block just now, which is go zone if I'm up here. But again, it's obviously going to be quite successful to opponents on their bridge. And if in doubt, you can stand on this bit, poke up there. This bit's quite, if my movement was using it, it's quite easy to get to. You can poke pretty far over there. And obviously, the blocks here make it quite easy on the bridge. Standing here. But at the end of the day, you're still playing Eel Tail. The map's not super favoured for weapons like Painbrush. Like the cap zone, like, even the painting aspect of the weapon doesn't work super well. The Eel Tail zone is just so big. Oh yeah, you can fair enough. You can poke on the bridge down here, fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's still probably one of its worst modes. Worst maps. It's just not super great for it. It's definitely D tier, but I can absolutely think of some others that are not great coming up. This is specifically for Painbrush Nouveau as well, I will say that. So, the Painbrush wise, mould. Hagglefish. You might think this is a bad map for the weapon. That was a lovely thing, but it's actually not. You've got this wall here to easily poke your and your opponent's plat, obviously. You get some decent flanks here. Obviously you can see down here, there especially. You get a lot more kills than you think there. You've got obviously the left flank. Yeah, I get way too many kills by doing this. And this as well, standing in the bottom there. Standing below here is a very powerful option as well. They cannot drop. They can't drop back because I'm just them. They can't drop because I just float them. And if they let me stand here, we're getting points. While there's someone stood here, there's an air blast over here, there's a slosher pushing up as well. And again, there's just quite a lot of cover to push up quite far. Like, this is a very powerful spot as well, just completely negating the one option to go back on this map. And again, just behind this pillar. It's not as bad as you would think for a weapon like Paintbrush. And again, obviously you've got the missiles to force people back. Like Pen stood on here, you can just force them back. Take this space, now all of a sudden you're here with no threat. 80. Honestly, I'm fine with putting it 80. It's not as bad as you'd think. Not great, but it is not as bad. Undertow. Oh yeah, and also like all the haggle stuff is like. What's all the haggle? Have we not really played like that? Like yeah, it's the same. Undertow. We've also got a lot of whole flat area to paint for missiles. Underrated spot as well is actually just straight up on your own snipe. Being able to stand here and poke mid is a insane attribute. Obviously I've got against pillar there, pillar there. One here. You can just drop down, poking there, so that's very easy. Stood below here. They're just basically, I'm just showing off the areas where you want to stand as Paintbrush and then justifying it as a tier list. Really, that's all it is. And obviously the whole Paintbrush paints the zone in about 2 swings. And then obviously if there's an opportunity to push forward here, poke down here, and if you want to put back up down here, bait approaches and swing out. Again, I'd say this is better than Hagglefish for it, but it's not in like S tier. S tier, I have an idea of like the maps is going to be in S tier already. Other Undertow stuff is Rainmaker. Same sort of shtick, really. Like you're poking from snipe, you're just trying to threaten people to come to your ledges, really. And that's about it. Mincemeat only played on zones. Thank the Lord. This map is complete ass cheeks. Spoilers. Bad. Realistically, there is about one area you can stand, and that is bottom left. Open around the block, push out there, early drops, down here, and throw them back off of their truck, so you can move in, and I guess you can stand on this block, down here. But like, other than that, you're really fighting along, like, just a lot of empty area, where the inevitable charger on this map will just kill you. I guess bottom line is it doesn't threaten too much area, but it does completely stop this if you're aware enough. And I guess if you make it onto this plat, like everywhere. But it's like, if you get up here, if you get up here, you're probably winning with any weapon. But Paintbrush, very limited area, and you just kind of get picked off before you can do anything, really. I'd say it's just as bad as Undertone. It's just as bad as Undertone. Very limited. Hammerhead. Only played on zones, really. Hammerhead's had a resurgence, which is concerning, because for me, it is a not great map. As you can tell, it's just a line. It's just a line. When you come in, like, I guess you can go right, left. You've got these ledges that people like to sharpen with. Obviously, the missiles for all the line. An area that I like to stand under here, really, quite a lot. It's just like approaches, stuff this way. Then obviously you've got all this area to repaint over for a missile. Look how fast that's crazy. And obviously you've got when people aren't really looking, shot in, snipe. But it's like, yet here, it's like, you can't push this way, because you're going to get spotted. This is all going to be enemy. So you're going to have to, like, put in something like that, or that, and then shot at that point you're dead. So, like, pushing advantage is hard, so you really just have to kind of stay down here. And, like, watch right roll, which actually happen quite a lot, but you get the point. It's... If you're getting to that point, it's fine, but until then, I want to say C tier just because of the ledges that you can actually do, and like the flanks you can actually watch for. Oh, why have I put it on top? So it's not criminally bad, but not great. I think there's a lot of good maps there's a lot of maps that Painbrush are actually decent on. This is one of them. And Hammerhead is just not one. This map, Museum, very strong for it, very, very strong. Obviously you've got the whole big spawn for painting early missiles. You've got unironically standing here gets you way too many kills. Just doing that gets you far too many kills than it should. You've got all these nice ledges to just stand in the home. You obviously got this ledge to stand on a home. For any weapon like Paintbrush, Slaughter, Roller, Squiffer, you just stand and get full value. Obviously you've got all the it doesn't poke up there super well. It can, but it really then obviously you've got the bait and approach for down here, like you bring, oh no, you're running away, back bang. You know, oh no, you're running away, so bang. You can still watch flanks, and pokes up there very well, obviously got sets up. If you make it on to plat, which I shall do now, in 3 seconds, you've got obviously being able to poke over spinner as well. Very, very strong. The whole rails. If you get up there, you've got that ledge you can poke over. You've got this ledge you can poke over. It's not. It's actually a very decent for Paintbrush, I'd say. Why have I popped themselves? It's definitely, I'd say it's over on it's here, for sure. All the museum modes, clams and rain. So just the whole, it's just the same thing, except now you've got a ramp. So, very strong, very strong. Mahi. This is another one where actually it's not as bad as you think. I've got quite a decent win rate on Mahi for some reason. Obviously, not as big as a squad area for early missiles and a cooler, so you tend to just kind of go in. I like to shop here, poke around here. You got this. The right key sort of exists with this weapon. Not super well, but it does. They're not map. So playing in 4 seconds, you got this legend. Really, you tend to not really care about right islands. You're not the weapon that wants to be stood there. That's reserved for something like a sword or a and then obviously all there's 2 areas of hate to. I just realised why my game is dropping quality. Hold on a second. Well, not quality, but like just give me a second. Oh shit! Now I've got to fucking remember. There you go. I think that should now not keep freezing up. I was thinking, it's like, why is it freezing up so much? Because I think I was recording it in 4K, or it was capturing in 4K, and it also does not like me having everything up. Anyway, back to mine. Really, it's just one level that you can kind of over, and then you've got snipe to just cover that entire zone. It's actually like, the idea is very simple. The idea for the map is very, very simple, but it's very effective. It's very, very effective. Obviously, just being able to shark in over all these blocks just leaves a huge threat. Because it's simple though, and it's very predictable, it ends up being in tier. It's not like something like Haggle where I can kind of adapt. It feels very much like I am under left, I'm on your plat, or I'm on my sniper, or I'm sharking mid. It's like, that's really it. Ink blocked. God, there's so many more maps. Jesus Christ. Big spawn area. Immediately preferred for myself. That's getting it some points. You've got an easy way to walk in the lanes, because you don't fall off. You've got a little here, you can poke this bit, which means here. And then you got the missiles to move charges off of this top bit, because that is the main problem on this map. What do you do against a charger stood here looking at your players? Like, you can like watch the whole thing. The only way to do it is drop there, and that's not good. That's low ground. Painbrush does like low ground, but like it's not like, I love low ground. I'm gonna sound it all the time. Like obviously you've got that left drop into paint missiles here, into missiles, into I'm gonna shark here. Because I've got from this. It's not okay. Obviously, you can actually poke up to attic up there. It doesn't show it, but like that whole mesh is just like no-go zone. If Painbrush is on the right, so here you can block. If I block it, this is again one of those maps where you don't want to push up to plat. You just want to push up to about here. Then all of a sudden, you can back up really easy to charge this. You're watching right. You're poking at it. As long as some of your teammates are watching left and bats over here, like Painbrush Map Tierlist, it's not super great because obviously you've got that area where people are just going to snipe you from. And you obviously have bats, which is like literally right behind you. It's like, that is a move that you can do, but like, it's not super consistent. Overall, I want to put Ink Blot still above Scorch. It's like, the only reason I put Scorch here is because I've got the same less safe, but you've also got other areas, obviously, down there, just being able to just consistently deny this whole plat and this whole right. So it's better than Scorch because like you actually have somewhat of a presence, but at the end of the day, it's still quite flat now. Clams as well on it. Yeah. It's just about the same, in my opinion. Sturgeon. As of right now, we have no S tier maps. I don't even think Museum's anywhere close to it. This is a solid contender for one of them, I will say that. Obviously, big square area. A big bowl, obviously, you can poke down there, you can sponge a lot, you can receive them. If I knew how to press the B button. Okay, you've got that jump there that exists. You've obviously got being able to poke onto spinner and off spinner. Just being able to play around that is very strong. This map unerupted isn't played in zones. For some, I don't understand why. Being able to play around spinner is just super strong. Obviously, the only way you're getting off the now is if there's a blaster poking you or a charger looking at you. The blaster, there's not really much you can do other than dropping and trying to fight at close range. And then the charger you have missiles for. Sorry, I'm rubbing my eye. It's very itchy. Hayview is a bitch. Jesus Christ. Overall, like, obviously this is quite like Slosher, and Slosher's like this map. On to spin it down here. Off a bit again. Just a couple of reasons doing that. Obviously you've got jumping off spinners all along there. Onto the window. Especially tower control. Doing that is very strong. Doing that one motion just can grant you like that whole check there for it's insane. Obviously then you've got places down here, there. You can't quite hook top left unless you jump off. So you're giving up your whole position, so you have to make sure you can get the kill up there if you jump off, because that's a huge disadvantage. So it's again, it's linear, but this time it's linearly good. Unlike Mahi, which is linear and predictable, this is linear, and then like unless you have the right weapons for it, you ain't doing anything about it. All together, I'd say this is probably better than Undertow, worse than Museum. Just because Museum you have more area that you can stand. This is very predictable still. That's still in the predictable area, but because of spinners, is very, very good. Mako mods. So, I'm just real quick. I don't think I need to justify this, but Mako mod is S tier for this map. Again, the reason you play Slosh on this map, you're going to be playing him. You've also got being able to look on the right, the ball. You've got being able to play on the left side, from around the corner. You've got being able to play on the right. You've got being able to actually take your side down here. You've got being able to look over from like quite safely here. You can play on here. You can play at a certain here and hope that's very strong. You've got being able to play on the left twice. And obviously, Britain's actually is like you can actually go very quickly. You've got the missile. You've got poking up here. You've got running around here and shooting here. It's like, this map is built for a weapon like Paintbrush, Slosher, Dynamo. It's not that hard to see why this is S tier. I don't quite think it's the best, but it is the best, most common mode. Map even. This is played all the time. Tiebreakers are on Mako, and then all of a sudden they see Paintbrush. This isn't a tiebreaker. This is their pick. And all of a sudden it's just like, okay, this is just super strong. Wahoo. Wahoo World is, I think, the worst map for this weapon. More than Marty. Marty, mid-speed. Yeah, you got the big spawn early missiles, very big spawn. But you get to here, it's like, okay, you can missile them. And then what? You drop here, someone's sharking, someone's down here. If no one's doing that, you're around here. You pretty much always trade with weapons here. Then all of a sudden you got someone over here who's poking you over there while you're there. You can't poke them. And it's super slow. This is unbelievable. So you've got to do that, and then you got to then do that. And it's like all of a sudden it's like they've had 2 seconds to react to that. Then let's say, okay, you're here. But you can cap half the zone. You can cap like 3/4 of the zone. You can't cap that last level, so you need a team shooting. You want a shot is always fair enough, but that's a second teammate to cheese a zone. Unless you get real close in. But that one, you're real close in. Uh-oh. Charger. You die. Poking you over this wall is fair enough. Again, poking over this wall, it needs to be stuck out here. Oh no, Charger, you die. Something over there, you die. You're poking here. What the hell is this? There's just no cover. You die. You can poke down the ledge, fair enough. Like, you get here, looking up there while poking down here, fair enough, it's a decent map. But, like, you're doing all of that work to get through mid, fighting in mid, trading, to get here, where you have a somewhat better time than a roller. If you can paint slightly more and have a set of missiles. It's like, it's not getting much worse than that, to be honest. And that doesn't actually include... And well, that's the base game anyway, so... so far, base game is proving to be quite... not great. And I'm just going to say the DLC maps do not get any better. Brine Water. Not as bad as you'd think, obviously. Still quite a big, like this whole bit here, you can pretty safely poke for paint for a set of missiles. Obviously got the left drop. All of these ledges here, I'm going to show you. All of these ledges are very easily pokeable over. Let's say you're on advantage, so you're down, so you're on my side, or your side, steps down here, that's got me a couple cheeky kills. This ledge, poke up to that point, which is like the whole area where it's like, that whole area here, that's where you want to be, like, that's where a charger wants to stand to piece. So being able to deny that is very strong. Then you also stand up here. Problem is, with this map, you can't push up very far. If you try, like, you have this green up here, this green up is this safe spot. But it's still up here, you can, like, maybe take one and then trade, or maybe just straight up trade. It's not the best but you can still get an advantage, I guess. It really, all you're doing is like taking it around. This is one of those maps where like, I would probably take it off and then just go and just kind of focus on painting and poking for missiles and poking sensors. But like, it's just like, eh. It really is just air. So it's like C tier. I'd say worse than Unbanked. Like this is one of those ones where it's like you have to like, do something else. Basically, I'd say C tier below is where you need to start like really focusing on missiles. Anything over B tier higher is that's where you can start like actually interacting with people with the main. Flounder. This is another map where it's just gonna be like this is like. This, ironically, is the best Painbrush map. And it sucks because it's so versatile. You get one white, all of a sudden you can't put it back. You can play below, mid here. This is just where you start. You just start on this wall here. You can squid roll back, snap into that ledge, and all of a sudden you got shots going out. This picture right here, this one frame, is complete fear. This right here is the best weapon in the best spot. There's not much you can do to contest this. Why not Tri-Slosher? Why not Dynamo here? Tri-Slosher is pretty slow and incoming with shots like... Yeah, it's pretty slow. Dynamo, same shtick. But by the time they've gone back, there's no white recover. And then you just keep on fleeing out. It's like you've got sensors, so you can actually just see, or you can just like literally just straight up look over the ledge. Then you've obviously got this bit to look at. Then, oh, you're an advantage, so you can go here, you go down here, you go around here, here if you want. It's just like the best map by an absolute landslide. This map is built for Painbrush. And, yeah. There's just not much you can do about it, honestly. Umami. We're on a roll right now. Holy shit. Umami is another S tier. I think this is worse than Mako. Not by a lot, but this is for one very simple reason. Also, you've got a lot of room to make missiles here. Opening here is like you get a lot of kills. Opening down here, you don't expect it so. That's not. You've got a lot of blocks that people want to shark at. You just kind of poke over. And it's like all the way up, you're like, okay, now you're here. Over this block, now you're here. Over this block, now you're down here. Over this block. Oh, you want to go this way? You want to go over here? Over that block for safety. It's like, you just got a lot of blocks for safety. And it's just good. The only thing I would say, though, is disadvantage on this stuff like that. You're stuck here, this is where there's no blocks, and now you've got to get out of advantage. The whole thing was chose to this area is really sense. So then do that. Then you can down here. And it's like, okay. Or if you're me in a slight disadvantage, you've got this, completely cap that zone real quick. So that's just space in you. That pays a lot of the zone for free. It's just an S tier map for this weapon. It's hard to say like anything else about it. Really, you're just poking a lot across so many blocks. Oh yeah. Oh. Manta zones. there's a very obvious area, and then there's a less obvious area. So obviously, the most obvious area is on the flat, open wall here. Then obviously in a disadvantage state, you've got this, where you can here, and you can start over here. On opening, you've got this hole here. Watch early attempts here, attempts there. Here. Another area that I like to actually kind of play around is on the left. It has a very easy time, like very threatening, very hard to move from on the left. Especially if you're playing patient on the left. That's where it's good. But most Painbrush players do not understand patience, so they just want to play on flat, on bunkery. I don't know what it's called. I know what it's called in the moment, but I can't remember now. But I prefer to play on the left. If people like to push on the left, obviously you can push up here. You've got this bit here, this wall here. You've got this wall here. You can put it. It's very good. You just push up quite a lot. Very thin, very cramped. And it's just been more cramped in Splat 2. Go back, watch this area in Splat 2. It's not good. And it's very, like, it's built again. This is, yet again, an S tier option. I think it's worse than Mum, I'll say that. But it's still good. Brine Water. This is again another map where, unironically, you do fine. This is gonna go like right next to like Hagglefish. Obviously, getting out of that is pretty painful, I would say. That's just this weapon in general. You got this whole block, here, you can take out the advantage. In neutral, you can pretty much blocks. If you're trying to push an advantage, here, this guy, this, here. I like to hide here quite a bit. Snipe, here. We're around here. Find it. I don't really like to go under here. It doesn't feel great. You're here, you're right here, drops, obviously the wall that you're watching. You're just really making sure this right side just does not get pushed. But again, same as Hagglefish, pushing up too far. Okay, it's making sound. You're not pushing up too far, which kind of sucks, but like that's just how you get it. So it is just going to go run. It's a Hagglefish, really. It's the same sort of vibe. You can turn on plat as well and poke from plat. And poke over their plat. It's and that's very strong. Poke under the left of their plat. Humpback. This is the second best map for this weapon, only behind Humpback. Flamber. Same bullshit, really. It's like all of these curves are just really nice. Standing here, you've got hope. So, stand here, that you can stand here and flat. You can stand here and flat. You've got, if you really want to push advantage a lot, you've got the right flank. You can go over the block. You've got here. You've got here. Just there's a lot of stuff you can do, And obviously missiles are just incredibly strong on this map. Mainly what you could be doing is push people back onto here to then hold them when they forget, inevitably, or when they need to push it, so you're just holding them here until you see them jump out. Then you start to move. It's just a very easy but strong idea. And like that's why Humpback is the second best map. It's like not even close. Crab leg. Remember what I said from Wahoo, where like Wahoo was the worst map, unironically? This is the second worst. What do you do on the map? Like, yeah, you got mesh that you can run across. Fair enough. Funky. Like, the painting range is quite nice. Here, which is very niche, but like, you know, this is just not a good map. Mainly because it's like, you just gotta like, you've got all this area where you're gonna die before you even get to anywhere. Like, yeah, you've got these left flanks, where it's like here, it's like, okay, yeah, you've got to paint here, and then you've got to jump. Then you're here. Like, if you, and again, you've got to think, there's a big fucking brush being held up. Like, if that's not sending alarms to the opponent, then, like, I don't know what it is. Crab leg, just not great. It's too long to really. Long open maps are just not great for it. I'm flying along these ones a lot quicker. I've just got less to say, really. I guess. Because again, a lot of it's just the same points as, like, oh, it's a good map because of curves and ledges and blocks, and it's a bad map because there's none of that. Here's an exception to that rule. I think this map is just kind of mid. Like, you've got early points here, you've got post shot. Here, you can drop right down there. Here, you can jump here. Unironically holding here is quite nice. All of these ones come across. Here, shark. Holding down here. I like to stand around this block. Itself. Here. It's just very hard to catch up with it. It's just quite nice. You've got actually quite a lot of drops of blocks to a lot more than you'd think to play around. A lot of these are like very safe, which is just very nice overall. High C, low B. I'm gonna say here. I think there's just less obvious spaces than hold. You feel very kind of vulnerable sometimes. I'll say that. Ramen. The best map in the game. And that's for a reason, because you can make a lot of weapons work on this. Painbrush is no exception. You can also put just here and disadvantage. Got here. Here. I'd say again, you're really fighting to just fight Painbrush with disadvantage. It's hard already. You've got fly. You can actually, from this point, there, That gets a lot of kills. Here, around here. Snipe a little bit. Block a little bit. There. Unironically, one of my favourite things to do is they run back, I start running them. Safe distance, just enough to kind of go like, oh shit, he's threatening me. So then I start moving forward. They jump out at this point. What do? I don't back up, I don't jump out, I continue onto this block. What can you do from this block? Poke up on that block. Which is outrageous. That is outrageous that you can poke up this ledge from down there. It's just not okay. It's not the best map for it. Again, it's the same thing as like Hagglefish, Brine Water. You can push up you can push up like just in front of zone. From there, it's like pushing up any further is just gonna get you. I mean, you can go here. What you do here, which is not much, other than like hide below the ledge. Whereas something really obvious, like, and doing all that, it's like, okay, fair enough. But like, I think that map's kind of fine. Oh my god, I'm yawning. I couldn't stop yawning. Bluefin. One of the least played maps. Well, definitely one of my least played maps. I'll say that. I find myself not actually playing on this map a lot. Either in solo, competitive, scrims, 8s, sendo queue, nothing. I find myself never playing on this map. Obviously you've got the whole ledges here, which is quite nice. You've got, you can't really poke up there. That's how much, I had to experiment right there. Obviously standing up here, pushing their own snipe. Sharking here is fine, I think. Kind of poke up there. Mainly it's there. Then shoot you. Here in disadvantages. Up here in advantages. It's just very. There's a lot to. It's just a very undeveloped map. And I understand why, but I don't at the same time. It's just it's hard for me to say. Like, obviously you've got plenty of moves as well. Like you drop an disadvantage, you're like, oh shit. Like you can drop down here and get this whole stretch of where charging up there. Again, it very much feels like a humpback. Run. It's like here. I say it's slightly better, only because it's on there, downwards. But like other than that, it's just it is what it is. I'll say that much. Marlin. God, I can't remember. I don't know what even to say. Oh shit. Oh my fucking god, I'm tired. Again. You've got ledge poking. You've got more ledge poking. You've got more ledge poking down and above. You've got the fans. You've got easily tackled. There you go. You've got poking over blocks. You've got moving through the fan. Down the fan. You've got standing under this leg. Your leg. This. That's all common areas where they want to stand. Over this leg. You've got running down here. Base and approach again. like Undertone, you've got there. It's not that bad for it. I will say that much. You've got obviously this thing. It's not that bad. Not great, but not bad. I'll definitely give it like the same as Undertone. Just less because it's a bit underdeveloped. And obviously you got less area in spawn than Undertone for painting missiles. But I just think it's very underdeveloped. I don't play on that map very often, and especially this is easily my least played map, Lemuria. Because it doesn't have a great gimmick, I'll say that much. Where do we even start? Okay. Obviously, standing on the leg is the normal stuff. What's the unique stuff you can do? I guess you can open it down here. You've got standing under here, but like this is a very complex thing. But for some reason, people really do not do it on this map. I will say the zones are not the easiest to cap. I'll say against the poke of a block. Jesus Christ, I'm yawning again. This ledge, but like really you're playing around and fighting units. You're fighting the treadmill. Which really, I have never stood on top of here. There's gonna be some cheese. There's not. Okay. Really just like the thing is what that happened. It's like that one little fucking ledge, and jumping on this one is so slow. Like he's slowing down so much. Imagine writing Painbrush. Okay, yep, you do that. Yeah, now you're here. Instead of what it should be, which is running, and now you're here. You have to do that little jump, and that little jump ruins it. Is it aggressive? Yeah. B tier, probably. Like, again, very underdeveloped map. I just do not really know where to put it. That, I would say, is the list. The complete list. Again, this is in the context of... Painbrush Nouveau, so missile sensor, not curling wave, because that kit's bad. Yeah. Just trying to think, is there anything else that is like blatantly incorrect? If anything, I would say I was too harsh on these two. And that's about it, really. Everything else is like somewhat alright. Like these here, these two are the ones where it's like you want to find a new weapon, find a secondary, or just avoid it at all costs. Get subbed out, get a secondary for these. It's just not great. C tiers are the ones where it's like these ones you're playing around missiles. B tiers are your linear maps where it can be kind of difficult to do anything, kind of stuff. These low A's are like you can do stuff, but it's hard to hold an advantage and hard to get out of disadvantage. These are like your I can mix you up kind of maps. I can kind of send a lot of places and you're going to fall off. These are like I'm a major threat to your existence on these maps. Yeah, that's what I'd roughly say. Screenshot, feel free, whatever. The whole shtick. Like, subscribe. New video soon, ? Yeah. See ya.